Well, let's talk about it. LeBron James was swept, and the Lakers were swept by the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals to send the Denver Nuggets to the NBA Finals. And that's it. That the Lakers are done. It's over. It's done. They were the seventh seed. They got to the Western Conference Finals. Good for them. But LeBron was swept. People picked him to win in six. They were swept. Not the first time an All-Star Hall of Famer has been swept. So that's okay. It was just way more fun because of the fans, because of Nick Wright, because of Shannon Sharp, because of other ESPN reporters who are not the whatever, because of all those guys, all the fans. That's what makes it so funny for him to get swept. Let's talk about the sweep. The Denver Nuggets earned that sweep. Great series. The Lakers played okay, just never got enough to get it done. In that last game, LeBron had 31 points by half. He wasted all of his energy in the first half and then couldn't get it done in the second half. He missed 20-some straight threes during this playoff run here against the Denver Nuggets. But I thought he was the best to ever play the game. How is he missing 20-some three-pointers? That's what I want to know. But the thing that gets overlooked for the Denver Nuggets is immediately after the game, we knew these questions were going to come up talking about maybe LeBron retiring. But immediately after the game, a tweet gets put out about some report that he's going to consider retirement. So let's talk about the exchange that happened. The report came, and then I saw what LeBron said. He scored 40 points in their loss. He had 31 by halftime, only scored 40. A question said, LeBron said that going forward with the game of basketball, I have a lot to think about. So LeBron says that. Then they do a follow-up. When you say you have a lot to think about stuff, when you say you have to think about stuff, what thread should we be pulling on that? He said, if I want to continue to play. As in next year? He said, yeah. They said, would you walk away? He said, I've got to think about it. So we kind of knew this kind of question might come up, but LeBron's the one that instigated it, saying he's got stuff to think about. LeBron always plays the narrative. He understands how the media works. He uses his platform for political purposes that we just do not really, I don't care about. I'm not saying shut up and dribble, but when you're getting interviewed about a basketball game, like in the summer when you're not playing, use whatever you want for your political advice that you feel like you need to give to the rest of America, even though your opinion is no different than mine just because you are LeBron James and make $1 billion. Your opinion is not more important than my opinion, is what I think. But people like to think LeBron is the smartest person on the planet and has these amazing political ideas, and that's what they go with. But LeBron has played the narrative for a very long time. LeBron knew that if he came out and immediately talked about how he's going to play next year, the media would run with it. You're going to barely hear anything about the Denver Nuggets that deserve to be there because they've played and deserve to be there and played as a team, and they have the MVP. It would come down to, well, let's talk about why LeBron's saying he might retire. Well, he probably won't retire. Then LeBron comes out and says, I'm better than 90, 95% of the NBA. If that doesn't scream cockiness and that doesn't scream arrogance, I don't know what does. LeBron has always played narratives. He always knows what to say to get things going. He always knows what to say to get things to look away from him. LeBron has always done this. He's going to make the story about himself. He's going to find a way to make an excuse. And the Nick Wrights of the world, the Shannon Sharps of the world will find a way to not put any blame on LeBron James. That's why LeBron went all out in the first half, so that way he could sit there and end between 30 and 50 points. So if they lost, Nick Wright and them can come on and say, what else is LeBron supposed to do? He had 40 points. Well, AD's got to play better. This guy's got to play better. This guy's got to play better. Quit He is the only All-Star, the only Hall of Famer that we'll talk about losses for in the NBA Finals because he brings it upon himself when he plays the narrative, and he brings it upon himself when you've got idiots like Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp and others on ESPN and Fox Sports talking everything and giving him every excuse in the book. All these guys said he'll win the championship. Nick Wright went on and said, oh, people said that they ran out of gas because they didn't have enough in the tank because they're older to play playoff basketball. And he had the audacity to say, oh, they played basketball because they played playoff basketball. They started 2-10. Because they started 2-10, they had to exert more energy throughout the season. Shut up. Have you ever played basketball, Nick Wright? You don't. You look like the guy that got bullied on by the athletes and want to go with the easy route. You're the guy that's going to sell out for money to say certain things. What other excuses? You are the smartest person when it comes to pulling excuses out of thin air wherever you find it. That's the only good thing that Nick Wright's good at, is pulling these excuses out for LeBron James, because he'll sit there and say LeBron is going to win the championship. The Lakers are going to win the championship. And then when they don't, it's not they'll say LeBron's going to win it. LeBron's going to win it. LeBron's going to win it. When they lose, what does he say? What else is LeBron supposed to do? That guy, it's the team. The team is terrible. And when we bring up Jordan as the GOAT, well, he had Scottie Pippen. Well, he had Phil Jackson. Well, this, well, that. Instead of talking about how great LeBron is, me personally, if LeBron lost, if the team that LeBron is on lost, they could say, well, yes, he probably could have done something different. But they like to point to the stuff that he did and what the teammates didn't do when he's had pretty good teams around him. Then they're talking about, well, is he the best Laker of all time? Shut up. He's been there for 4 years. We don't count the NBA bubble title at all. Well, he won a championship. No, that don't count. That don't count. Nobody besides LeBron and true diehard, maybe Lakers fans, and Nick Wright and them really do count that. The rest of us sat here and say, well, that doesn't count. That bubble championship does not count. Why is LeBron now contemplating retirement? Because he has pushed this narrative how he's going to play basketball with his son, who is about to go to his first year of college, and he's going to play with his son in the NBA. First of all, who says you're going to play in the NBA first of all, who said your son's going to get drafted into the NBA that high? Who said that? Number one. Number two, who says you're going to be able to go to that team because you look old? LeBron, I'm sorry. You're looking old. You're looking pretty old. Father Time is catching up with him. I just don't understand the arrogance. It's cool to have that dream. But what is making him talk about this? Maybe because he's figuring out that, oh, Father Time is catching up with me. Oh, I have to put a lot of eggs into the basket of LeBron. My son is going to go to the NBA. Oh, maybe because of the name, image, and likeness thing to play in college, he doesn't need to go to the NBA. We'll see how the freshman year goes and make that decision because, well, one, LeBron has all the money in the world. Two, his son will get name, image, and likeness and can develop and then maybe get to the NBA. But by that time, LeBron won't be playing. And maybe LeBron is now contemplating, if I was hurt like this the last couple years, do I want to go out where I cannot do the things that I normally can do, which I respect. If he could sit there and say, I don't want to play if I'm not able to do some of the things that I normally do in a basketball game, I need to go. Maybe mentally he can't handle it no more. He would rather go shoot Space Jam 2, which I believe was terrible. I never watched it, never will. He wants to do the documentaries. He would rather go be a political person and state things that he has no knowledge about. That's the stuff he'd probably rather be doing because that's where mentally he goes, because he'd rather worry about saying the wrong thing, posting the wrong thing, not being educated on things. That's what he would rather be doing. So LeBron might finally retire. Me personally, great. Will I miss? I I respect LeBron James's game because he's one of the best players we have ever seen. He's athletic. He very talented basketball player, very durable basketball player, and we cannot take those things away. Has done some amazing things on the basketball court that only certain athletes could do. And who knows if we will see another type of LeBron James player again. And I respect it, but he has lost too many big games. He has shrunk in too many big moments. He has had so many excuse after excuse from himself, from the people around him, from the media. Then he stays on their good side because he'd rather say political things when we're here to talk about sports. He would rather try to join all stars and Hall of Famers to try to win championships. He would rather focus on things outside of basketball. He would rather have those things infect him. If you watch the documentary Last Dance, you saw how Michael Jordan did not get involved in politics. Michael Jordan was involved in thinking about basketball. He was in now gambling, yes, but he was invested in basketball. He was invested in investments in himself with his shoe deal and other things like that. That's what he was invested in. Same thing with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was invested in making money and investments that he could do. He was invested in basketball. Then, once he was done, he put all that energy into something else. LeBron is trying to do so many different things at one time. It could take away from one or the other. And basketball and investment and donors and all that make the money. That's where his mind goes. And over time, mentally, that's probably where his mind is. And his body's now starting to catch up. Father Time is undefeated. So LeBron might finally retire. And we can stop hearing about this. And, oh, Steve, just why didn't you just enjoy the time you had? I tried. I am on record talking about it. I sat there and the playoff game versus the Detroit Pistons when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I watched that entire game where he scored the last 25 points and had to win in overtime. I sat there and I would have loved to continue to root for him, but the media just ran wild with it. He started to bring things upon himself, and the fans just pulled me away. I sat there and gave LeBron all the credit during that game. Like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing performance. And I would have loved to sat there and just soaked all in the stuff that he was doing. But with all the outside sources, I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it. So for me, I would love to see LeBron retire so I could be done with it. He'll be a top 6 player when it's all said and done. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I also think he's saying he's going to retire, so that way the narrative is on that. So that way when he comes back and if he plays better, oh, I talk about retiring. Look how good he is. Oh, bow down to LeBron James. That's what's going to happen. We need to be done. We need to move on and focus on different players. We need to be done with LeBron James, okay? Because Michael Jordan's the GOAT and Kobe Bryant is right there with him. Michael Jordan's the GOAT and Kobe Bryant is the next one, in my opinion. So we just need to get away from it. Thank you guys for watching or listening. Please like and subscribe to YouTube channel. Follow it right on Apple and iTunes. Helps go a long way. Check out all the affiliates in the description below. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Hopefully this one gets a lot of comments. I'm sure people will come after me. Thank you guys again for watching or listening. Check out all the other videos, and we will see you guys next time.